Well, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the SoCal Prep Report. Got Mo Orr with me along with Bob Gibson. Happy you joined us. Of course, the CIF Southern section had their finals, as did the city section. And we're going to get into all that because basically, what else is there right now this time of year? All right? But I'd like to remind you that next week we're going to talk a little bit about the North American Scholastic Esports Federation. Going to have Mark Deppy with us. They had a conference last week, attended that, had a lot of interesting stuff going on. This thing's proliferating here, fellas. It's getting crazy out there with this esports going nationwide. We're going to talk with Mark Deppy and get an update. Of course, man, the league was born in Orange County, man, and it's in full swing, Bob. Everybody loves it.
Nothing bigger than esports right now. It's the hottest thing going right now across the world, really.
That's right. North American Scholastic Esports Federation, located right here in Orange County, going to be running the show here. They're running it now. They're going to be running it nationwide here pretty soon.
And we got it right here on the SoCal Prep Report.
That's right. All right, let's get down to the business at hand now because we just completed the CIF Southern Section Finals, guys. And no bigger game than this one. Woo! This was the third time we had the game of the century this year, guys. How about that?
Another game of the century.
The third time. And all three involved Mater Dei. Mater Dei coming on top. Let's look at some of the highlights here. Ukulele did not look like the #1 quarterback in the country, Bob.
Well, I tell you what happened here is that the offensive game plan for Bosco, very suspect in this football game. Boy, I think I got to think Coach Negro took a look at the film on this one and maybe wanted to throw up at the end of it because, boy, the game plan just didn't look like it was there for not the way they executed it the first time when they whooped Mater Dei several weeks back. But in this one, Mater Dei on defense really dialed up a lot of blitzes.
McCoy, baby. Look at that, Brew McCoy.
They were dialing up blitzes left and right, and no adjustment from Bosco. And without that blocked field goal late in the game, boy, Bosco only got 6 points in this game. So really, really an eyebrow raiser for me that Bosco was not able to put some more points on the board. Mater Dei's defense not only rose to the occasion, they held tight in this one.
Bryce Young, 50-22 for 177 yards. Not a lot of offense in this game.
No, there wasn't. No.
We're seeing big plays here, but not a lot of offense in this game. Mike Martinez, 5 receptions, 86 yards. Brew McCoy, 6 receptions, 72 yards and a touchdown. Harper only ran for 54 yards for Mater Dei. They had 256 yards more in total offense, Mater Dei did.
Yeah, but if you think about it, these teams play each other, 2 times throughout the course of the year because they're in the same league. And then, of course, come down to playoffs and they meet each other in the finals, Division I finals. Pretty tough, I think. I think Mater Dei played kind of coy and the first meeting that they had during the season, and then come around, this one's the one that counted.
The time of possession, 33-16 and change on either side. Mater Dei had the ball twice as long, and if you ask me, that's just out coaching Bosco.
And that really was. You give defensive coordinator Eric Johnson a chance that long to break down that film and find a way to attack the Bosco defense. He certainly did that. He came up with a great game plan for his Mater Dei defense, and they came through.
And you know Eric Johnson is, right? Former San Francisco 49er, right?
Former and
coached at Fountain Valley High School.
Yep, yes he did.
Had quite a few things. So Eric Johnson put together a great game plan, like you said. And that time of possession was key in this ball game. They kept Bosco pretty much off the field. And again, that's key in a game like this because Bosco has they have playmakers all over the field. They just couldn't get the ball to them. They were under. Ukulele was under duress the whole game.
Yeah, like I said, they were dialing up blitzes from all over the place. And that was the key to Mater Dei this year. Their defense had tons of speed. Not a lot of size, but a lot of speed. And they used that to their advantage this time to get a lot of pressure on Uiagalelei.
Okay, whatever, man. It's a rough one. We'll call him Yui, all right, for short, from this day forward, because those are tough ones, man. You can pull a muscle in your tongue saying crazy names like that once in a while.
We'll just stick with DJ.
But, hey, look at Mike Martinez from Mater Dei was also very impressive. UCLA is getting a very good tight end in Martinez. I mean, he's a big dude. He's a big target, and he can run with the ball.
This is a kid who always runs down the seam, got great hands. He's a big target, and he's a good player. You're right. UCLA's getting a good one.
Yep. Now, Bryce Young's coming back, the quarterback for Mater Dei, and, of course, your buddy Yui's coming back next year. He's a junior. They're both going to be coming back. Both of these teams have D1 prospects all around. They're both going to reload. And I have a sneaking suspicion we're going to be seeing these two back next year.
Yeah, there's no reason not to think that. I mean, certainly Centennial will be in the mix, and there may be another team that just says Mission Viejo or somebody may try to load up some players. But no reason to think it won't be Mater Dei and Bosco again. And there's a bigger question we can talk about, I think, when football wraps up. But is this good for high school football to have these two teams so dominant over everybody else?
Well, it certainly helped them in the national picture, and we're going to talk about that too, because Mater Dei is the national champion right now. All right, unless they lose the Conference de la Sal.
Despite what some other rankings around the nation have to say for themselves.
Listen, if you don't play a top 20, a top 25 team in the country, you cannot be up for consideration of being a national champion. If you don't play out of your own state, you can't be considered.
I'll go ahead and call them out. It's the USA Today rankings. I'll call them out because it's
USA
garbage
Today
rankings.
Is garbage.
To have Allen, Texas #1. Mater Dei beat Bosco and actually dropped in the rankings?
It makes no sense. It's a joke. USA Today is just a joke. That's why a lot of these newspapers are going belly up, because everything's fake news, and that's fake news right there.
But what matters is SoCal Prep Reports.
That's right.
We got it right here.
We got it right.
We got the
right here.
All right, well, let's get off that nonsense right now. Mater Dei is advancing. They will play Concord. More than likely, we say Concord de la Sal,
but
they still got to play a game. All right.
It should be, though.
They're gonna
that should be the state title again. Mater Dei de la Sal.
All right, let's go to Division II. Look at Rancho Verde and Upland. Exciting ball game, man. I mean, nobody would have expected this one. Rancho Verde, high power offense, high power everything, and just couldn't handle it. Upland came out with a staunch running game, guys. They ran for 250 yards, brother. That's ball control.
You thought I put the kiss of death on Upland in this one? I picked Upland.
You called Rancho Verde.
I picked
you did
Upland.
too.
I told you. I told you
You text me his picks.
The Upland we saw get hammered by Mission Viejo early in the season was not the same Upland we saw make a run in these playoffs, and Upland gets a much-deserved Division II championship.
Well,
nice win for them.
Talk about the win. No, take nothing away from Upland. Wasn't there some type of thing going on with the quarterback on Rancho Verde?
No, that was Norco and Centennial, wasn't it, Bob?
No,
you're right.
Rancho Verde's quarterback was out, so they put their.
I believe Rancho Verde was missing their quarterback, their wide receiver, and their running back.
That is correct
in this game. So they're missing 3 top players.
They weren't throwing blows, or were they being suspended like some of these other schools?
Hey, a year ago, Centennial was missing their quarterback. Remember, they went to the championship game, didn't have their top signal caller against Bosco. So you play the cards that are in your hand at that time. And Rancho Verde's still a very powerful team, just not able to get it done, but. Missing 3 players. That is pretty big. You're right, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, come on. You can't overcome the 3 best players on the team, your whole offense. You can't overcome that in a championship game. Come on. What kind of team are you?
Entire offensive line would.
I didn't know it was that bad with Rancho Verde.
Well, they had a freshman. Their freshman starting quarterback was down. Twisted his ankle a week before. They took their best wide receiver, and he played quarterback during the championship game.
All right, kind of like Ray Guy, right? When he had to come in and play quarterback when Mark Wilson went down, and Rusty Hilger when I can't remember who else they were playing, Chicago in '86. Man.
Oh, that's one of those legendary games,
that
right?
was great. Yeah. '84, something like that was great though. All right, Division III now. Let's take a look real quick and see what's happening with Sierra Canyon and Cajon, 34-30. What a game this was, fellas! I got to tell you right now, probably the best game of the night. These guys put up like 1,000 yards in offense. And that's no hyperbole. I know we use a lot of hyperbole on the show, at least Bob and Mo do. I never do. But seriously, they had like 899 yards in total offense between the two. Unbelievable. The Trailblazers were led by our E.J. Gable, that is. 23 attempts rushing, 230 yards on the ground. That's 10 yards per carry, Bob.
Is that what that adds up to?
It's kind of like Mo's. That was Mo's average.
I average a little something. I know me and Bob talked about this game before the game, and we thought this was a low score for the first half. We thought it was a basketball game. So,
but I got to tell you, the MVP of this game was Jaden Daniels, the quarterback at Cajon. 19 of 32 passing for 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, wait a minute. Then he rushed for 176 yards and also caught a pass for 5 yards for another touchdown. This guy had 456 yards in offense. One dude.
He's good.
Wow. Passed,
really
ran, caught, touchdown. They call him touchdown game.
So he did all that. What do you have, a QBR of 135, 125?
No, he had a QBR of 108.
108.
108.
Really?
The second highest of anybody in the playoffs, and especially the Bosco quarterback, Yuli. I'm telling you right now.
The kid's so good.
He had a 31 in the modern. I'm not lying. It was a 31 QBR.
Really?
In the finals, and that's the best quarterback in the country. Look, everybody has an off night, and the dude's only a junior.
It's a tough time to have an off night.
It was a tough game. I think Bosco came in overconfident after beating them 48-16 in that first game or whatever.
Well, there was some stuff going around, right, that the Bosco was very, very confident. But they had a reason to be confident in this game. They had whooped Mater Dei the first time around. So I don't see why. Bosco should have gotten confident. What happened in the game, though?
Yeah. There was a lot of smack talk. I heard they were saying their JV team could have beaten Mater Dei that night. That's a lot of talk right there. That's all I would have to hear.
Woo. Wow.
Remember all that smack IMG was talking about Mater Dei about coming to Cali and wanting to go to, they wanted to see, what was that?
They went out. They wanted it out. They wanted all the smoke, and they got all the smoke.
Yeah, they got all the smoke, baby.
They did.
Anyway, so that was Division III, Sierra Canyon and Cajon. Sierra Canyon going to the state playoffs. Let's continue on. Look at Division IV.
D4.
We got to start rolling, man. We still got to get to Rosenblum. We still got to get to a bunch of other stuff here. Corona Del Mar, Grace Brethren. Grace Brethren came out of nowhere this year, fella. 26-14. Really, I don't know what's in the water over there. They beat a really good Corona Del Mar team. These guys also were just shy of 1,000 yards total offense, even though the scoreboard didn't light up. They were moving the ball between the 20s like nobody's business.
Look, Grace Brethren's had a good program now for 4 or 5 years here, right? I mean, this is a school, this is a program that's been on the rise here, and this is a big championship because Corona Del Mar, man, Corona Del Mar's been the program in Orange County. You talk about the team other than Mater Dei and in Orange County. I got to put Corona Del Mar in that number 2 spot for the level of success they've had over this past 5 or 6 year run. So to beat Corona Del Mar was a big win.
Corona Del Mar kept it on the ground. They rushed 56 times in this game, Bob. You only get about 65 plays, and they ran 56 of them. I mean, 301 yards, they kept the ball, they kept the clock, they kept control of the game.
That's what you do.
That was the
game plan. That's the way you want to do it. Game plan, execute it to perfection.
Keep the ball away. Play keep away.
Yeah, exactly.
Way to win. Continuing on, let's go on to the next division. I believe what we have Division 5 now. That's Palos Verdes. That's the Palos Verdes Estates over lost to Lawndale 34-20. Yep.
34-20, good game.
Now Lawndale's got to step up. They got a big game coming up this week, fellas.
I watched that game. I think I'm pretty sure Rosenblum has a lot to say about Lawndale. I think that was a good victory for them.
They're going to play South Hills. Let's continue on Division 6 now and see who we got.
D6.
I hope it's Division 6, Bob. And we're taking a look now.
This was a good game.
South Hills Oxnard.
South Hills Oxnard. South Hills came through, and boy, this was the top team all season long, right? South Hills, we talked about them for so long, and Oxnard put up a pretty good fight. South Hills gets the CIF title, though, in Division 6.
It's actually pretty good. That's the first time Bob was 1 for 9. He picked South Hills.
I did pick South Hills. Who didn't pick South Hills, though? Come on.
Yeah, South Hills did a good job. That's their 6th CIF title.
No, Randy didn't pick them. Randy raised his hand.
Here's some highlights. That final score was actually 23-14, and a little bit closer than it was when they played Pacifica of Oxnard. They had to literally go through Ventura's champions to win this ball game. And here the Huskies come out in their green and white. I think those are their road uniforms, fellas. And here we go, man.
This is the pride of the San Gabriel Valley here, South Hills.
You know, you really got to give it to Coach Bechtel. You know, these guys. It's been about an 18-year. I shouldn't say that. It's been about what? About a 13-year drought, Bob, between CIF championships.
Been a little bit
over at South Hills. The last one coming in 2005, Bob.
It's been a minute, hasn't it?
And here they are, 2018. And we were talking with Coach Bechtel at the luncheon. These guys do a lot of things well at that high school. They just don't play football. They just don't wrestle. They do a lot of things really well over at South Hill. So
well, when you have so many good athletes, right? You're gonna when you have that many good athletes, right? You're bound to have.
Look at that catch right there. Look at that catch.
USC, right? That's when they're playing the Trojans.
Yeah, well,
right there.
The way we played this year, they probably could have beat us.
No, this is the scrimmage. We're just throwing this footage in as a bonus. But anyways, South Hills will be in the regional final again, as we said, against Lawndale. So you got two CIF Southern Section Division champions going. And this shows you how strong the section is. A lot of CIF Southern Section champions are going head-to-head in the state regionals.
I like that.
You don't see a lot of San Diego. You got one San Diego team and one Central Section team that made it. The rest are Southern Section, as is South Hills
and a city team.
All right, let's continue on. Culver City, San Jacinto in Division 7.
Yeah,
wow.
This was lopsided.
61-21, didn't see that coming. Quarterback Zevi Eckhouse, sophomore, 19 of 28, 339 yards, 4 TDs, guys.
Wow, 4 touchdowns.
Again,
he had the highest quarterback rating, Bob, 133.8.
No
brother.
surprise here, though. Culver City was pounding people all year long. Culver City had a great year. They another team that well-deserved championship here in D7.
Pretty high-powered offense.
Culver City gets who? They get San Diego Lincoln. Yeah. Marcus Allen. Yeah, baby. Nice. San Diego Lincoln is pretty tough. They used to be the big dog in San Diego, so we'll see what happens. But
Kaiser, another one of my picks.
That's who Culver City
gets.
gets.
D8.
Wow. Bob, you did not pick Kaiser.
I did pick Kaiser. I did. Go back, look at the tape. Did I not pick Kaiser? No, did I pick Kaiser?
He actually picked Kaiser. I actually watched the tape. I'm going to give him some credit. So he was 2 for 14.
2 for 80 all year. Are you kidding me? 2 for 2,000 going back to the last 10 years I've been working with this guy.
I aced these playoffs.
Look, Kaiser versus Arcadia, what, 38
Arcadia,
35.
yeah, that was a good ball game. Another game where they put up a lot of points in this ball game, which meant a lot of yardage. And, man, their running back, Christian Hunter for Kaiser, 44 attempts, 327 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Now, wait a minute. His running mate, Trey Tribble, he only had 16 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Is that good?
That's all right. Between them, these guys ran
500 yards
for like 1,000 yards or maybe 2,000 in this game.
So I think the key to success for a lot of games was running the ball.
Kaiser and Eisenhower head to the finals. Okay, let's look at the next game, Division 9.
I had a front row seat for this one.
I had a front row seat for this game right here. Brea Linda came up short. They lost 21-17. They had a really good opportunity to win this game and just came up a little short.
What happened?
They couldn't stop them from running or passing.
Well, obviously they stopped them. They only put up 21. That's less than a touchdown a quarter.
Yeah, I don't have all the statistics in front of me, but I can tell you that they probably, from end zone to end zone, goal line to goal line, they probably had about 800 yards without scoring. And Brea stopped them a couple times.
815. I got the exact number.
Really?
I got it right here, brother.
There you go.
Just wanted to let you know. It was a lot. And Brea got lucky enough and played well enough to stop them on 4th down and goal a couple times, but still came up short.
All right, let's continue on. Next division, Division 10. Having a look here at Eisenhower defeating Palmdale 35-18.
Again, I picked Ike.
Eisenhower will now take on, who are they taking on, Bob? They're taking on Kaiser.
Kaiser, yes.
That's another 2 CIF team. Actually, all the guys that win a CIF are all playing off now. They're putting them all together, man.
That's Eisenhower from where? Rialto. And Kaiser from where?
You got it.
Fontana.
All right, Division 11, Western over Peninsula High School. There you see the score, 49-21.
Congratulations to Western.
Pretty crazy, huh?
Nice big win for
Western. Western's moving on. They're going to play San Gregorio, as we mentioned. 2 CIF champions going at it. Linfield Christian in Division 12 over Artesia, 70-32.
Wow.
Yes, and Linfield's now going to take on San Diego High School of San Diego. Hooray. Adelanto over Orange Vista of Paris. They're going to face Strathmore. Strathmore's kind of lower central California, so somebody little up north past Ventura is getting in this thing. And those are your CIF champions for 2018.
Congratulations.
From the SoCal Prep Report, congratulations.
Exploring LA County's trails is now a click away. A mobile-friendly trail locator lets you discover all our county's scenic hikes. It features an interactive map that takes you inside the trail. From the elevation to the temperature, what you need to know is at your fingertips. Wondering if your dog, horse, or bike is welcome? It has that too. So discover some of LA's best-kept secrets and happy trails to you.
All right, joining us now is Randy Rosenblum, and we're going to go over the LA City section. And Randy, it's kind of crazy this year. Things that are orthodox in the past, not so orthodox now, except for Narbonne.
Narbonne is the one consistent, Rich. They just hammered a very good football team from Garfield. Garfield comes out, gets an early touchdown from their quarterback, Jonathan Batista, an 11-yard run, and Narbonne proceeds to score the next 55 points. They really did it with big plays. Vincent Tucker had a 95-yard interception for a touchdown. Jamari Boone had a return on a punt. Here's the touchdown by Bautista early in the game. That's the only points of the contest at all. And here again is the Boone return. This is a 79-yard kickoff, and really this immediately turned the momentum around. It was 7-0 late in the first quarter for Garfield at this point, and Jamari Boone goes the distance, and that really turned the tables on the Bulldogs, who had come out and executed to perfection.
Talk about crushing the momentum, Randy.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, Narbonne is so talented. They can run the football. They can throw the football. They have so many backs. That's Collins, who just scored on that short touchdown run. Jordan Banks blocks this punt, goes 19 yards for the TD.
Yeah, Banks is the real deal.
Yeah, he might be the best defensive lineman the school's ever had. And here they go with different running backs. This is Jack Brown scoring that touchdown. Now you get back to defense. This is that pass over the middle. This could be the Tucker 95-yard interception, and he brings it back. This is really late. He scores with just 3 seconds left in the opening half, and it was Katie by the door at that point for the Bulldogs. And again, Lorenzo Hernandez had a fabulous year. They're 12-1. They're going to a state bowl, but they just didn't have the athletes to compete with this Narbonne team. This is Penny going all the way. Breon Penny, another kick return for a touchdown. So Narbonne has the athletes. That's 5 straight LA City championships for the Gauchos. 7 out of the last 8 years they've won the city crown. And for Manny Douglas, Manuel Douglas, the coach, his 9th championship, that ties him all time with another coach from Manual Arts from many, many years ago, Jim Blewett, as the all-time winningest coach in city section history. And you see this game, Dorsey was a team on an 8-game winning streak. They were the #1 seed. San Pedro really played well. Early on, Stephon Johnson goes 90 yards for a touchdown. He's thought, hey, maybe Dorsey's going to continue with that momentum. But San Pedro got a short field goal to cut it to 7-3, and then they started to make plays. They really started to make plays after this touchdown. It became 14-3 Dorsey. Then San Pedro took over the contest. Josh Ward with a spectacular run. You can see him break tackles. He's a punishing running back. This was a thing of beauty. This emotionally got San Pedro back into the game. And then the next series of downs, you're going to see the biggest play of the night. The interception by Joshua Johnson. He takes it back for 27 yards and a touchdown, and that really was the football game. I know there's more coming, and they went back and forth, but that interception by Johnson really was the key play of the game.
All right. I'm actually a little surprised, but man, talk about taking it to him. I like the way San Pedro hung in there, and I love that back, Randy.
Yeah, at one point, yeah, Ward's a great back, and at one point, San Pedro was underwater. They were 3-6 on the season. Jeez. They won their last 5 games to win a city title.
To come back.
That really is an impressive stuff. Now we go to the afternoon game, and this is Locke. Locke gets a touchdown here from their running back. That's Ford taking it in for the score.
Is this USC and UCLA footage by mistake, Randy? I'm sorry.
It really is, and UCLA won again then because UCLA, as of being Locke, beat SC lookalike Roosevelt. This is Jerome Cooper's 75-yard thing of beauty. Unbelievable touchdown here for Cooper where he escaped a number of times to go the distance. Cooper's an outstanding receiver and kick returner for the Saints. This is Locke's first ever championship. They had never won any title. Their program is a touchdown to Sepulveda late in the half that got Roosevelt back close, but it was Locke's game throughout. They played very good football, and they deserved to win the championship. And the game was preserved on an interception late by the quarterback to put him in at safety. You're going to see the touchdown here by the Roosevelt Rough Riders to get him close. And then there was an interception late by Michael Biaimi, the quarterback. And Biaimi's interception right here sealed the victory. And Biaimi is the hero there for the Saints. Great performance by Locke.
Yep, Locke never winning one. It's good to see him get that first one under their belt.
And here's my favorite game maybe of the day. Santee over Fremont. Santee's first championship. Their running back. A lot of firsts. Joseph Todd runs for 282 yards, 4 touchdowns, catches another touchdown, goes out on defense and also gets 2 interceptions. You're going to see number 3 Todd all over this highlight package. He's just a sensational running back. He's now at 3,060 yards. 3,060 yards for Todd on the year. He has scored 49 overall touchdowns.
That's work, man.
44 on the ground. I mean, Todd did everything. Now, Leo Soto, number 21, this guy here for Roosevelt, he returns 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. Here you go. You go into the locker room, you return 2 kicks for scores, and your team loses by 32 points. But Leo Soto, who was shaken up a couple times in the game, really performed beautiful football for his team.
Randy, is that a first for Roosevelt and Garfield both getting in a final in the same year?
Yeah, that has to be. I don't think that's ever happened. Those teams don't normally get to finals.
No.
Roosevelt's won 3 city titles. Garfield's won 2 city titles in lower divisions. That's what made Garfield's charge in the Open division.
Like a Trinity League thing right there, huh?
Yeah,
this
that was
year.
awesome. That really was. But I mean, again, this was a hard-fought game. But Santee just physically controlled the line of scrimmage. That's Terrell Smith, the big fullback, scoring for Fremont. But the running game, and I hope we have this. Is this the hurdle play? I don't know if it is. But
looks like it.
Yeah, there's one. No, he's got a touchdown coming up where he hurdles a defender. You know, it's Joseph Todd. He is just a splendid football player and arguably the best running back at any level in the city section. And I know Santee's a lower division school, but he's just a fabulous player. And here's that other return for a touchdown by Leo Soto. What a day for him to have two kickoff returns for scores, but unfortunately for Roosevelt, it wasn't quite enough. But this might be the play. I've been waiting for this play. Is this the one he hurdles him? Nope. He scored so many touchdowns in this game. He ended up with 5 touchdowns. Again, 4 running and 1 receiving. Maybe this is the one where he hurdles him, right?
It looks like he's timing.
There we go.
Slow-moed it.
Is that a phenomenal play? This guy is unbelievable. I just love Todd. He is the best player, certainly at that level.
Well, he certainly reminds me of myself on my playing day, Randy.
He really
I did quite a few of those hurdles, back in the day.
I do also want to talk about Narbonne's future because, you know, they've dominated. They're going to play Cathedral Catholic.
State again, yep.
Cathedral Catholic's a tough matchup for them. They knocked them out of it a couple of years ago. Narbonne's won 2 of the last 3 state titles. The one they didn't win is when Cathedral Catholic beat them in San Diego 35-28. Shane Poma is a great running back, and he returns. He had great success against Narbonne the last time, so that's going to be tough for the Gauchos to stop him. But my point here is that Narbonne is a very young football team. Garcia and Henderson, their quarterbacks, sophomores. 2 of their top running backs, underclassmen. 3 of their top receivers, very, very good, are all coming back. A very young football team. So when you talk about St. John Bosco and you talk about Mater Dei next year as the powers of Southern California, depending on who comes to Narbonne in the offseason, the Gauchos might just be in that mix.
Well, maybe the Trinity League will save a few people, like they had 400-something odd transfers last year. Anyways, real quick, I remind you tonight's show sponsored in part by the Yard House in Brea. Man, those guys do everything good. Good grub, good libations, the whole deal. Be sure to get out there, 160 South Brea Boulevard in the city of Brea, right off of Imperial Highway and Brea Boulevard. All right, everybody, time to look at the state playoffs that start this weekend. Let's take a look at some of the regional participants. First of all, we're going to start with Narbonne and Cathedral Catholic. We just heard Rosenblum say, hey, it could be anybody. He likes Narbonne's chances. What do you guys say, real quick?
I like Narbonne.
Cathedral.
All right, let's continue on. Division 1AA, Sierra Canyon and Upland. I got to go with Upland on this one just because of the way they played last week.
Sierra Canyon all the way here.
Sierra Canyon.
I figured you guys would say that. All right, continuing on, let's have a look. 2AA, St. Augustine against Grace Brethren. And who in their right mind would go against Grace Brethren?
I'm taking Grace Brethren.
Grace Brethren.
All right, continuing on, we got the 2A, Lawndale South Hills. Man, both teams are really good. I'm going to go with South Hills.
South Hills keeps
Upset.
undefeated.
All right.
Lawndale.
All right,
Ooh,
you can say what
Lawndale.
you want. All right, did we skip over one? Maybe not. Okay, then we got Culver City taking on San Diego Lincoln. You know, Culver City showed me a lot in that championship game by scoring 61. I got to go with them.
Going with Culver City.
Culver City.
Because Marcus Allen is not playing at Lincoln anymore.
Nope.
Neither is his kid or his grandkid. Let's
No more
continue
eligibility,
on.
huh?
Nope, all done.
All right.
In the 3A, it's Eisenhower and Kaiser. Man, that's a toss-up in my book.
I'm going to go Kaiser in a small upset.
Poor Eisenhower.
I'm going to tie.
All right. One abstinence, one tie.
0-0.
One loss. All right. San Diego Morse going up against Central Valley Christian. I don't know, but I'm going to go with Morse.
CVC.
CVC.
All right, you guys can have it. Let's continue on. Kennedy of Delano taking on Garfield. I'm going with Garfield, man.
I'm going to go Kennedy. I got to take one of the Northern California
I'm going to
teams.
stay
I
with
don't know why.
Garfield. I'm staying with
Yeah,
Garfield.
All right, I'll be
I'll
different.
stay with them.
I'll dare to be
Hey,
different.
they ran into that juggernaut. We all know what Narbonne's all about. Western of Anaheim taking on San Gregorio. Got to go with Western, man.
Yep, Western
Just
all the
doing
way.
it.
I'm going to go Western.
All right, continuing on. Let's go to the, 15AA now?
You're right.
Linfield, 5A, Linfield Christian against San Diego. Linfield Christian all the way in this one. They're
Yep.
explosive.
Yep,
Linfield.
Christian.
All right, moving on. Division 6, Adelanto Strathmore of Northern Central Cal. It's actually Lower Central California. I'm going to go with Strathmore because I don't know anything about them.
I'm going with Adelanto.
I can't pronounce either one of them, so I'm just
Randy's
gonna
going with Adelanto. Locke and Orange Glen. Man, you know what? I'm going to go with Locke because they won their first CIF title.
That's true. Lock.
I'm too. That's Orange Glen out of San Diego, right?
Locke's a lock, brother.
Lock's a lock.
Santee and Denair. I'm going to go with Santee. Don't know Denair.
I have no idea about it, so I'll go Santee. At least I've heard of him.
Let's go Denair.
All right. And we have, that's it.
That's it.
Fantastic, man. All right, that's all we got this week. We got to run. We're out of time. Join us next week. We're going to talk some esports.
Love it.
All right, North American Scholastic Esports Federation. And line up the leagues, let you know what's going on. Mark Deppy will join us. Right now, on behalf of Randy Rosenblum, Mo Orr, and Bob Gibson, I'm Rich Estrella saying so long from your friends here at the SoCal Prep Report. We'll see y'all next week.
Hey, do some fundraising. SoCal Prep Report.
Yeah, do that.